Comparison is a dangerous game that many people easily fall into. It's that persistent voice in one's head that constantly compares them to others. How she looks beautiful, how he has more money, how they seem happier or more successful. It's so easy to get caught in this dangerous game, isn't it? The truth is, comparison robs us of joy in the present moment. It traps us chasing after things that don't actually fulfill us long term. It's like running on a treadmill to nowhere. We drain all our mental and emotional energy comparing, competing, and never feeling good enough. But what if there was another way? A way to break free from this exhausting and destructive cycle? There is, and the following 6 steps can help anyone stop playing the comparison game for good. Welcome back to Mindful Infusion, where we infuse your journey with wisdom and insight. Shall we begin? Step 1. Notice when you're comparing. The first step to breaking free from the comparison trap is to become aware of when it's happening. Building self-awareness is so important. You know those times when you're scrolling social media and suddenly get a pang of envy looking at exotic vacations, flashy cars, or perfect families? Or when you pass by someone super attractive and find yourself wishing you looked more like them? We've all been there. It's so easy for your inner critic's voice to pipe up out of nowhere with statements like, "Wow, her life seems so much more exciting and glamorous than mine." Or, "I wish I was that talented and accomplished." And before you know it, you've fallen down the comparison rabbit hole. But these thoughts usually come wrapped in feelings like inadequacy, longing, frustration, even depression. They drain away joy, contentment, confidence. So my challenge for you is start noticing when comparison kicks in. Become super present to your thoughts and emotions. When you catch this happening, pause, don't react. Gently ask yourself, what's really going on here? What am I feeling, and why does it matter so much? Step 2. Understand the roots. See, a lot of times, we compare ourselves to others as a way to feel better about ourselves, or to self-motivate. It comes from a place of thinking our self-worth is based on measuring up. But let me ask you this. Who sets the standards we think we have to live up to? Who determines what successful even means? Often, it's outside influences like society, media, or the expectations of our parents, teachers, bosses, weighing on us. Images and messages that constantly tell us we need to be prettier, richer, more productive. It's no wonder we're made to feel insecure and not enough, right? But no one else gets to define your self-worth. Only you decide that. Not meeting someone else's standards doesn't change the essence of who you are. The problem isn't that you're not enough. It's that you're believing the wrong measures. Once you recognize where those toxic messages come from and how they worm their way in, you can start dismantling comparison where it starts. Step 3. Focus on your path. Now that you understand where this comparison urge comes from, you can start starving it by shifting your focus. Instead of looking left and right at what others are doing, keep your eyes centered on your own path moving forward. Each of our journeys is unique with distinct terrain, challenges, gifts, and destinations. Comparison ignores this soul truth. By comparing outward appearances, we wrongly assume it's smoother sailing for others. But behind the scenes, every person faces challenges, loss, crises, adversity. The playing field is far more even than we're led to believe. So instead of losing sleep chasing someone else's dream, invest that energy into crafting a life that resonates with your soul. Get curious about what makes you shine. Step 4. Catch the critic. Alright, we've covered a lot so far. You're building awareness around when comparison strikes and where it stems from. You're learning to keep your sights set on your unique path instead of others. Now, let's talk about dealing with that pesky inner critic when it barks those comparison claims. Because you better believe that little monster isn't going away easily. It's made a cozy home in our minds and gets off on making us feel terrible about ourselves. You're not attractive enough, successful enough, creative enough, is its favorite refrain. But what if, instead of accepting those thoughts as truth, you learn to talk back? That's where we're headed next. Every time your inner bully fires negative comparisons your way, you get a chance to weaken its power and strengthen your sense of self-worth. So when that voice pipes up about so-and-so being better, smarter, more popular, take a breath. Ask yourself, is what my critic's saying actually rational or helpful? Chances are, upon inspection, its criticism won't hold up. Because that shaming inner voice sees the world through a warped funhouse mirror. It exaggerates flaws and minimizes strengths, the opposite of the truth. So call it out. Say firmly but compassionately, "Thanks for the input, but you're wrong on this one. I know better." The more you challenge the critic, the more you rewire your brain away from self-judgment toward self-honor. Step 5. Don't struggle with imperfection. Nobody's perfect. Even though we understand this intellectually, we often feel bad when things aren't perfect. We're all imperfect, and that's what makes us human. It's not about avoiding mistakes. It's about having a good attitude when things go wrong, so we can learn from them. Comparisons aren't helpful because they stop us from learning and make us believe that our security comes from others being worse off than us. Step 6. Cultivate self-compassion. Many of us are far kinder to others than ourselves. So, what if you learn to offer yourself the same gentle understanding you'd give to someone you care about? To be your own best cheerleader instead of your toughest critic. That's self-compassion, and it's a total game changer. Practically speaking, this means speaking words of kindness, encouragement, and support to yourself on the regular. Catching shamey thoughts and purposefully replacing them with uplifting truths about your inherent value. Talk to yourself like you would a dear friend who's struggling. Offer empathy, validation, understanding. Give yourself permission to be human, to mess up and keep learning. You are worthy, not because of what you accomplish, but simply because you are. As we walk these steps out one day at a time, we dismantle comparison's power in our lives. We discover we are enough, just as we are. We infuse our world with more beauty simply by being our authentic selves. When we focus inward, speak kindly, and walk our own soul path, confidence rises up from within. We discover our worth isn't defined by others, but by our choice to fully embrace our beautifully imperfect selves. If this video helped you, please let us know by hitting the like button and subscribing to our channel. Here at Mindful Infusion, we'll keep sharing insights and practices for infusing your life with soulful wisdom and purpose. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.